Today I have a nice guest with me. Her name is Tomeka Williams, and you're from Tacoma, right?
Yes, I'm from Tacoma.
Now, are you still staying in Tacoma?
I am. I'm originally from Alabama, but I've been here for many, many years. So I definitely been living the life in Tacoma, high school and everything.
Oh, wow. What high school did you go to?
Lincoln.
Okay. I've been there a
Lincoln,
couple times.
yes,
I've been there a couple times.
yes,
I
girl, I
think
was a cheerleader and everything. I was doing it.
okay. Limber. Okay. I feel it. Cheerleading was never my thing. I could never get my arms right. So I ended up joining like a step team and a dance team, and that was a little bit easier for me. But I always admired cheerleaders, and like I just thought it was so dope.
Yeah, cheerleading, I would say at Lincoln was a little different. So we weren't just like doing all of the rah, rah, rah. It was a lot of a mixture of stepping and chant. So we were that squad that definitely came in. It was different. I mean, we were on the other side of town. So
this is very true. This is very true. Because when I went to Franklin High School, the Franklin High School cheerleaders were way different than Cleveland High School cheerleaders.
Yes.
Our cheerleaders, when I switched to Cleveland, everyone was twerking in the stands. I was like, what is this?
Right.
Dance team. This is not a cheer squad.
They had the outfit on, but they were not doing like what you normally see on TV.
Okay, well, we have you here because you submitted your song for New at 10. How did you find out about New at 10?
A friend of mine named Adrian, he actually does a lot of my videos, and he like hit me up with the text, and he was like, "Hey, I think you should submit it." And I was like, what is this? And I got a little nervous at first because I was kind of like, you really think I should submit it? He's like, yeah, why not? So my friend told me about it. And then I had another friend mention it to me right after I submitted the song, and they were like, you should do it. And I looked it up and I was like, this would be kind of cool. Like, fingers crossed that maybe, somebody will like it and want to play it. So that's how it happened.
Yeah, I literally went through, when did I do this? I did it Wednesday morning. I got up, and then because anyone can submit from any city, I wanted to find someone that was in at least Washington State. So I reorganized it, listened to all of the Washington State ones, and I liked yours the most.
Oh my God, thank you.
I played that one this week. So speaking of that, the song is called The Beginning of Me and You. We played it last night. Now, in case anyone missed it, we are going to play it real quick for you guys.
All right.
Can't explain what I like rivers and stream flows. It goes on in one shot of you, and I'm so gone. I don't want to stop it, 'cause I love. Every time my phone is ringing, I be quick to check and hoping and praying that it is you. And every moment of the day, I find a reason I can talk about you.
That's totally me, my friends. It was the sip for me. It's like, sorry, girl, I had to share this with somebody. Damn.
Yes.
So is this about anyone in particular?
No, it's not anymore. I know, girl. I know it's dry over here. The dating scene is dry over here. So just saying. No, actually, I wrote that song a few years ago, and then just like enhanced it as the time went on. I had a breakup, and the breakup was kind of bad, but I was like in that space of like, I don't necessarily need to be with the person, but I loved that feeling of the beginning when you first meet somebody and like you guys are vibing, and how easy it is to just be like everything else you forget. And so it's like you always want that back when you are not with that person. You know how we find a way to, even if they were raggedy, we find a way to make them seem like they weren't as bad as they were. And that's usually because of the beginning of how everything would start. So, and plus I just thought it would just be such a nice vibe of, I felt like anybody in a relationship, whether they are brand new or they've been married or whatever, like that could bring you back to being like, yeah, I remember when we were just starting out or just dating or whatever. Yeah. So I just enjoyed the vibe. So I was like, well, we'll talk about a little bit of love here and there. So
Okay, or at least what you want, like you said, like we all have that vibe, and it's like those first month or 2 months is like always so perfect, and then something happens, and if you can get it straight again, you might be okay. But sometimes it's like, nah, this is just gonna go left. We're just gonna take all the wheels off, and I'm just gonna remember the good parts.
Listen, we all know, ladies all have had, and men too, have had that moment where you're like, this is great, and then it takes a turn and all of that go out the window. But yeah, just having those moments, especially like when you don't talk to your friends, but like you find yourself talking about that person all the time. Little things like that. And we've all done it. I know I've done it. My friends do it. So, I was like, well, I'll talk about the good stuff, because I definitely can have a song talking about everything else,
Oh, absolutely. We all can have our K. Michelle moments whenever we need to, or like a little Keisha Cole moment whenever we need to. But it's always nice to be like, okay, love is still an option. It's still possible. Even if I don't have it right here, I can try to manifest something that feels good,
Exactly. I can put a smile on my face, so when I walk out of here, you might get those good vibes from me today.
Yes. Now the song is off of your EP, Beautifully Complicated. This dropped in like what, June?
Yes, I dropped it in June. Oh gosh, I think it was June 6th, June 9th.
June 11th is what iTunes says.
Oh yes, June 11th. You see, it was all a blur once I did it.
This whole year has been a blur in general. Like if you asked me what I did last week, I'd be like, I had to think about it.
For real, because you're definitely thinking about the days. Like I definitely have my days mixed up most of the time.
Yeah, but so, okay, you dropped it June 11th. Tell us a little bit about the project. Tell us a little bit about the voice that is within the project and what stories that we might take away from it.
Well, I Beautifully Complicated is also a self-titled, not self-titled, but a song on the album, the EP. And it was basically, I did this because I wanted to talk about, there's so many pieces to us. And sometimes, like it really came from like a Facebook post. You know how they say it's complicated?
Yeah.
And so forth. And I feel like sometimes when we say complicated, it has such a bad taste to it. It doesn't really give you like that it's okay to be complicated, or it's okay for something to not be perfect. And so I just wanted it to be like, we're beautiful, and that's okay to be complicated, because some days you're not happy. Some days you are, some days you want to be loved on, some days you don't, and I just wanted that to be reflected in the music that I was doing. So the EP was just really a love letter to myself about like coming out about who I am and being able to express that freely without being afraid or feeling like I have to be something for everyone else. I was just like, I'm beautifully complicated. I'm okay with that. There's going to be things that I like. And, as a woman, sex, relationships, friendships, everything. So I just wanted all of that. I tried to put it all in this little thing, and that's how we came up with it.
I love that, because like even in a marriage that might be for 20 years, it's beautifully complicated. Like sometimes you have oopsie babies, sometimes you have cheating moments, sometimes you have crazy arguments, like you might disrespect someone's mom or his brother. Like there's always something, but the energy that you have together is so beautiful that I always tell my friends, like with the relationships, it's kind of like figuring out who's worth dealing with their mess. It's like, I love you so much that I will deal with this. I won't deal with this person's stuff, but I will deal with this person's stuff. Yeah. So I love that. And like, even just as a person, I'm great most times, but sometimes I can be an asshole. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I can be judgmental. Like I have my moments, but I'm still super fun. But we all have our moments. We're human. And I don't think it's fair to ourselves to try to like walk around and act like we're so perfect. It's like, that is stressful.
It is stressful. And you find yourself like one day waking up being like, who am I? And that's like really hard to deal with. You don't want to be in that space. And I just feel like really, for me, it just came to a place of like, I had to sit down with all of that. You know what I mean? Like I definitely was going through depression at one point before we started to do the records. And I just was like, you know what? I love what I do. And I cannot stop doing it, because I really thought that I wasn't going to be able to do music for a while. And it just started to flow. And I just was like, man, everybody is complicated, but it's so beautiful. And we just have to embrace that. And so I just was like, well, that's what we're going to run with, because it's been how I've been living my life since then, is really just being okay with making mistakes and being, you know, and embracing all of that. So I think it's just one of those things where you just I want to shout it to the world, like, it's okay.
It's okay to be different. It's okay to be complicated. Honestly, I think it's weird if you're not complicated. And usually life is a little bit boring with that person, but that's just me.
I mean, it's true. Like, you got to have a little sass and a little sauce up in there before, you know, to experience life. You have to. Otherwise, I mean, you're not really doing much.
Yeah, you won't have as many layers as you could possibly have to yourself, if you will.
Absolutely.
Tell me this. How did you find your producers? Like your song is very well produced. Your music video is very, very like well edited. Like it doesn't look cheap. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I see some of these music videos and I'm just like, what kind of camera did you guys use? You know what I mean? Or it's like I'm listening to the song and like the beat is way louder than the vocals, or it just isn't mixed right. And I'm just like, what happened?
I know. Listen, I actually got really lucky. Let me tell you something. I was on a hunt. So my producers are from Tacoma and KUBE. He has Q Studios here in Danya Goodman. They're both awesome producers. And I found Q on Facebook. And what I did was, girl, let me tell you. So listen, I had to do that investigative thing. Okay. So that's right. Because I was the same, like, okay, I know there's a sound that I want. And I want to create it with someone that gets me, that will, you know, we can be hands-on together about this sound. Mm-hmm. And you know how you like everybody's submitting stuff or they're posting things, and it was just not it. You know, some of it was cool, but you know what I mean.
It just wasn't given what you needed for it to give, and sometimes it's just not polished.
Not here. And a friend of mine, Kariba, she's a photographer.
Jack?
Yes,
that's my good sis. I love Kariba.
I love her. So she has a foundation, the Dawa Foundation, and it helps young women. And she did like a Christmas album. I think it was her first one before. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to it, and I was like, I love who produced this song, and it was KUBE. And so I went to the CD, read his name, and started looking him up. I sent a message and, you know, just crossed my fingers that he would see it. And he saw it, and then we met, and it was just history after that. We really clicked and kind of like just were able to kind of talk through everything. I'm a visual person, but I'm hands-on. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, I need to sit in the studio with you while you're making the beat to tell you, I like this, don't like this, or this is going. And so that's how we kind of started to create. And then Danye, he is from Tacoma, but he lives in Florida right now. And he was here visiting and was in the studio. And I was telling him, you know, the whole premises behind Beginning of Me and You. And I was like, but I want it to be like a two-step, you know what I mean? I was like, the way I want the vibe to be is to where I pictured it like you're driving, you know, like you can hear it in the car, you can be wherever, you got your drink in your hand, whatever you got going on. It's easy for you to just kind of move with it. And we were there all night. I don't think we left the studio until that morning, early morning. And then the song was done.
Like what I love about the song is that it reminds me of the music that I listen to when I'm cleaning. Mm-hmm. And I have like my wine. I was at CBS the other day, and the lady was like, are you getting ready for a Halloween party? And I think it's because she saw my color corrector concealer. Yeah. But I also had a big old bottle of wine and cleaning supplies. I said, no, girl, I'm about to drink this wine and clean up my apartment.
Girl, yes. I mean,
play some music.
Absolutely. Like, listen, let me mind your business. Let me do what I'm doing over here. I'm about to.
Can I have my receipt, please?
I got my night, sis. Thanks. But
sure.
That's what I wanted. Like, that's how I think about it. This project was just for me was just more so pulling into what I grew up with, right? So like the music that I grew up listening to and the memories that I have with that, like you said, like I was thinking, you're cleaning your house on a Saturday morning. You know, when I was a kid, my parents would play music in the morning. I knew it was time to get up and do these chores, but we had music all the time. So I wanted it to be like that. And that's what it is. It's like, I just want people to feel good when they're hearing, you know, put them at ease, but also like bring them to a place where they're like, I'm Gucci right now, you know?
It's a timeless vibe. And I feel like when you have like R&B songs, I have like that timeless vibe. It kind of goes into that 90s R&B kind of vault where you're just like, I'm just going to put on the radio on 90s R&B and I'm just going to let it do its thing because I'm going to like it no matter what.
Absolutely. I am a fan. If anybody knows me, knows that I am always going to be in that 90s era, like 90s, early 2000s, you know, like I'm here for it because it just takes me back, but also it's just really good music. So, I mean, you know, good music too, but you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, today's music is cool, but I just wonder if it's going to be something that I'm playing like 15, 20 years down the line, the way that I still play SWV and Escape and like, you know what I mean? Like you listen to just all that old school, like R&B, you're just like, this has no time to it.
Am I going to be speaking this at the top of my lungs? Because right now, if you play weak, like,
even some Fantasia, even like some Fantasia, like you play her on and all of a sudden everybody just stops and they're like, baby, you don't play me now. Like it's a whole moment and don't have it be a bunch of drunk girls like, survive.
Right. It's us like, hey, don't do it. We're in our moment. That's what I'm saying. Let me live, sis. Like that's what we're doing here. So I get it. I'm the same way all the time.
Now, did you get into music because you grew up in a household where there was just always music playing, or is it something that you fell into as you got a little older?
No, I actually loved music since I was a kid, like very, very young. My parents always played music. My dad was one of those who had a record player. We were like, I'm a Southern girl originally. So living in the South, my dad has this record player and he had like this sunroom. And that's where you would listen to your music. So I would go in there and play with like a little fake mic and listen to music with my dad all day. And then I fell in love with Whitney and that was it for me. So
I've been selling delivered.
Right, listen, I mean, I think when I saw her do The Greatest Love, I mean, I had always been a fan, but when I saw her do that and I saw the little girl in the video, I was like, that's me. And after that, it was like, I knew this is always what I wanted to do. It's just, you know, being an independent artist, that it is not always easy, but it's just music. I just love music. I feel like music really can tell everything that you would want to say. You can find a song, you can find a composition, anything that can make you kind of go back into that space, whether it's like trying to express yourself, like it's just so easy to be able to relate to anybody when you have music. So, I mean, that's why I've loved it. So yes, as a kid, it started when I was a kid.
I love that. And, okay. As a Whitney fan, how do you feel about the Bodyguard remake?
Oh, no.
Same. I was like, we did not ask for this.
Leave stuff alone. I'm sorry. Like, what are you doing? No. No. I can't even believe that's real, to be honest with you.
I really can't, but apparently Lizzo actually is trying to like volunteer to be in it, just to be in it. And like, she's like, I don't even need a payment. Like, I'll be in it. So this is a thing. And I was like, who asked for this? Like, you can just make your own new movie that might kind of have that feel to it, but you don't have to keep digging up our old movies and then making us watch it and then be pissed.
Right. Well, here's the thing. That is a classic in itself. You can still watch that movie and still get the same feels. That is timeless. I mean, my thing is this. Her voice is timeless. So you don't need to remake it. I just wish people would let Whitney rest and give her flowers, do what they can. But the movie is a no-go for me. Let me tell you something. I will not be watching.
That's what I recently said. I was like, I probably won't watch this just because
I will be so mad.
Who's even gonna play Whitney? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Bobby Christina isn't even here. So who's gonna play Whitney and do Whitney proper justice? Who? Nobody.
There you go. So and, they got that hologram too. I'm like,
those things creep me out. Okay, I don't like it. I don't like where I feel like this is going with these holograms. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Right. You don't know what they got going on behind there. No, thank you. Next thing you know, somebody gonna be married to one of them things. You just never know. I mean,
probably is somewhere in a different country, man. Sometimes I be seeing different things in different countries, and I'm like, this is what y'all are doing over there.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I would say, I mean, I would feel the same way if they were like trying to do a movie about, any other artist that's really been out there. I just feel like some things just need to be left alone. If, she was here, y'all didn't make a Bodyguard 2, so why are we making this? Just leave it alone. Listen to the soundtrack. You'll be fine.
I'm just saying. Or just make a new movie. Like, you don't have to... you can be inspired by the Bodyguard and then like the way that celebrities are now, it's not even crazy with the paparazzi. It's their fans that are crazy. Mm-hmm. So you could easily make a new Bodyguard movie with a different artist that can sing and you'd be fine. But child, I had to ask. I was like, I wonder, since she like Whitney, I know she gonna feel away about this movie. So real quick, before we get ready to end the interview, is there anyone that you want to work with very soon? Like anyone off the top of your head?
Ooh, I mean, there's so many, but honestly, if I could, I'd love to work with JD. I think he's dope as a producer. I would love to see what we could come up with, like a Confessions woman's version. Like, I think that would be pretty dope because Confessions it goes hard still. But I think that would be kind of dope. I am old school, so I would love to, I would say not necessarily work, but sit at the table with some of our legends like Gladys Knight, just kind of, and my favorites, Tamia. I don't know. It's just so many. Honestly, I would be open to anybody that is got a good vibe because you just never know. But sure. I think Lizzo is dope too. So, just anyone that would bring out something fresh within me and kind of push that envelope. But who knows? I mean, if they want to work with me, holla at me.
It's like, hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing mighty fine. Hit the DM. One time. Well, remind everybody where they can find you on social media and where they can listen to your EP, Beautifully Complicated.
All right. Well, you can check me out on the socials. I am on Instagram, Tomeka Sings. Follow me. I interact. I got to get better at posting because that's a lot of work, but we're gonna get better at that. Twitter, Tomeka Williams. And I have a website. You can follow me as well as check out new videos, get updates, get merchandise at TomekaWilliamsMusic.com. And EP, you can get the EP on iTunes, Apple, and then you can also stream it on Spotify, Tidal, all of the streaming networks. All of those are available. It's also available on YouTube as well.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for sitting down and virtually chatting with me. Real quick, what's your favorite wine?
Oh, okay. So I'm not a real good wine person. I'm just now getting into reds, but I like the what is it? Sauvignon Blanc. Like that. I am a Riesling girl. I know that's probably real not good, but I like a Riesling. And then I'm just now getting into red, so I'm starting with baby steps with the red blends.
Okay. I don't really do reds very often because they make me sleepy. However, I did find one red. I want to say it was a Riesling, and I want to say it was called Bella Gloss.
Oh, okay.
I found it at like where was I at? Ruth Chris. So I ended up like getting a whole bottle and taking it home. It was like really, really good. Didn't make me sleepy. Gave me a cute little vibe. Kind of reminded me of my favorite wine, which is Chardonnay. That is my favorite wine. I will drink that down.
I tried, and my friends. Now let me tell you, my girlfriends they love Chardonnay. Like 2 of my girlfriends, they love a bottle of Chardonnay. Now me, I just can't do it, but I might have to try this other one. I do like, I just got into the Sauvignon Blancs and I'm like, oh, okay, that works. I mean, you know, girl, when I first started drinking wine, it was Moscato. So that can tell you right there where I was at.
Same. Same. And then one day I had to cook with Chardonnay, and not all Chardonnay is the same.
Right.
You will mess around and buy one and be like, what is this? Some of them are buttery. Others are just kind of thick. And I'm like, what's this, honey? What is this? So I get one brand. I want to say it's called like Chateau Chez Marcel or something like that. It's over in Wallingford. I like that one. But I'm going to send you a link for the Bella Gloss. I'll like find it. I recently was looking it up online.
Okay.
And that way, if you want to like try that, if you're out somewhere or you want to buy a bottle, you can get that because it's a cute little red wine. Typically, they make me sleepy, but that one does not make me sleepy.
Well, okay, I'm here for it. I'm trying. You know, I'm trying to grow my palate with it. You know, but
Same. Same.